So I had a very different video planned for today, but as a lot of you probably know, real life has a way of throwing things up in the air and making things very hectic. So I've not really had time to, produce the other video idea that I had. I instead wanted to just sit down and talk to you about something a little bit more personal and, something maybe a little bit more positive than the feelings I've been experiencing recently. I mean, for those of you who've been following me on my other channel, you probably know. But for those of you who don't, this weekend, myself and my partner of 3 years split up. And whilst it was a very amicable split up, it's still something that's very, very tough to take. And it's very hard for me to accept because I've never been through something like this before. This was my first real long-term relationship, and that coming to an end is taking a lot of processing. And the last few days have been very, very mentally challenging. And I've in the past I've had a lot of different ways of coping with things like this. One of those used to be food, but with the success of my diet, I'm finding that I don't have an appetite for food like I used to. One of the things that has really helped me and that I wanted to talk about was Star Wars, and specifically the Clone Wars. It just so happened that a few weeks back when the Clone Wars was announced to be coming back, I sat down and I thought to myself, I really need to rewatch this show because I've not seen it since I first watched it a couple of years back. And whilst I remember a lot of the main stories and I'm familiar with a lot of the main characters, there's little plots that, you tend to forget, and some characters who you don't think about very often. And I thought, well, I best watch it just so I'm back up to date. And so by the time the new season comes around, I will be up to date with all my knowledge, and, I won't have to worry about not understanding something. And so last week I started watching it in chronological order, which is something I didn't do the first time around. And I got, 4 episodes in, including the feature-length movie. And then this weekend, the breakup happened. And obviously I just found it very tough. I didn't know what to do. I didn't feel like making videos. I didn't feel like even playing games. I just kind of sat there and just existed for the longest time. But the one thing that did help, and whilst it didn't make me happy, it made me smile, was watching an episode of the Clone Wars. And, I think it summarizes a lot for what Star Wars is to me, and I'm sure a lot of people, which is it's an escape. And it's something that I can delve into when I don't want to think about real life. Because, I like to immerse myself in these fantasy worlds. I mean, who doesn't want to live in a world that's got Jedi and Force users and, spaceships and alien races? It's something I think that we'd all love to experience. And so, it's only really been the last day or so that I've realised just how much. I mean, I've watched another sort of 4 or 5 episodes since then in the last 2 days. And, it's only now that I realise, that has really helped take my mind off things, and it's just been able to put a smile on my face when not a lot else has. I mean, I've had great support from family and friends, which is invaluable, which really does go a long way to helping you mentally. But, it's hard to smile. And so watching a few of these episodes, I've just got finished with the episode where, R2 gets captured by Grievous, and they have the droid R3 who's the turncoat, and I just have to smile at it because I think what a crazy, amusing and creative story, and the characters are brilliant. I'm still at that early stage where, Ahsoka's just been introduced, and, there's still a very kind of tentative relationship with her and Anakin, and I just really enjoy experiencing all that again, and it just brings back so many good emotions of when I watched it the first time, and, it was back when I first started my YouTube channel, for the other channel, and, I think it's brilliant because it shows you what a show like that can do for someone. It's not just there for entertainment, it's there to help you escape, it's there to help you when you're down, and, I'm forever thankful for that, and that's why, when people think about Star Wars recently, I think they think about the negativity that's been going on with the fandom, over the last couple of years. Or realistically, I suppose there's always been a negative aspect of Star Wars fandom, as there is any fandom, but I think it's been exacerbated in the last couple of years since Disney took over and new films came out. And, you know, I was never one to be overly critical of, you know, Disney's handling of, you know, Star Wars. You know, I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I loved Rogue One. Rebels was a show that I enjoyed. The Last Jedi was one that, you know, I didn't particularly enjoy it, but I accepted it, you know, as the next chapter. I didn't have to agree with it, you know, but it's there, it's done. And, you know, even now I can sort of go back and I can watch the films and, you know, I can accept them for what they are. And, you know, it just helps you escape. You know, being able to think about things like that is a great help. And, you know, I think that just is something that until you go through it, you don't realise what Star Wars is to a lot of people. And I'm sure that you guys have had similar experiences where, you know, you've been through tough times and you've relied on maybe not just Star Wars, but, you know, anything to distract yourself and to delve into. And, you know, I think that's why it's so important that, you know, this journey continues, because, you know, it's a coping mechanism for a lot of people, and, you know, people can use this and enjoy it. And, you know, I think The Clone Wars is a fantastic show that, you know, I have particularly enjoyed, you know, when I first watched it, and now I'm learning to enjoy it all over again, and it is really helping me. And I think that's a big credit to the writers, to the voice actors, to everyone involved, because it takes a certain special kind of show to be able to help you in that way. You know, because I've watched a lot of shows that I've enjoyed, but I've not been able to really get into. But The Clone Wars is just a completely different ball game. You know, all of the different clones, you know, all of their personalities, you know, just being able to get attached to them again is just something that I have really, really enjoyed, and I'm very thankful for at this moment. And I'm sure that a lot of people have, you know, had similar experiences. So, you know, I guess this video is not so much got, you know, a main purpose other than just to reiterate my gratitude to, you know, the likes of Dave Filoni, you know, to, you know, even someone like Kathleen Kennedy, you know, just for everything that they've done, you know, and to George Lucas for, you know, just creating this whole universe in the first place. You know, it's changed people's lives more than I think they would ever realise. And, you know, I'm sure they get told every single day about stories of how they've helped people and, you know, they've changed people's lives. And, you know, this is just my way of kind of saying the same thing. And, you know, that's why I think that, you know, people can be critical of the show or the fandom, or they may not understand Star Wars, you know, but I think it's good to just constantly, you know, keep telling people that it is a force for good, and it is a force that helps people get through everyday life. You know, without this, I'm sure a lot of people's lives wouldn't be the same as what they are now. And, you know, that's why I've got such a fierce dedication towards Star Wars, and that's why I want to carry on making this kind of content, you know, with this channel, because it means so much to me. It's done so much for me, and I want to carry on, you know, providing that kind of content for people of a similar disposition to me who love Star Wars, who, you know, just want to interact with the, you know, fellow community and share their experiences. You know, this is really what I want, is to share my experiences of, you know, an animated TV show based upon a fantastic galaxy, and a story, and, you know, how that's impacted me. And you know, by me sharing that with you, it is very cathartic. But it also would be great for me to read about your experiences with Star Wars and how Star Wars has made a difference to you, because that, again, is something that I really, really enjoy. I really enjoy finding out how people's lives have been changed by this one person's, you know, imagination that's then developed into a huge universe that's shared and, you know, is loved by millions all over the world. It's fantastic. And, you know, again, it's helping me through a really, really rough time right now. And, you know, I am just very appreciative. And I thought, if I can share my story with you guys, you know, it may help you. It may just, you know, help you understand. It may help you if you're in a similar situation. You know, maybe you'll go back and watch the Clone Wars yourself, and, you know, you'll rekindle that enjoyment. That's something that I've done. And, yeah, like I say, I didn't know what I wanted to say in this video specifically, and I didn't even plan on making this video, but I thought it'd be a great video for me to upload, just to help you understand where I'm coming from, and, you know, obviously to show my appreciation for the show, and, you know, just kind of try and put a bit more positivity, not just into, what I'm going through, but hopefully for you guys as well, because, no one likes negativity, no one likes, seeing bad things said, and, hopefully I can, try and spark some positivity with this, this video, and hopefully get some decent conversation going in the comments. So, yeah, please let me know, guys, in the comments, obviously, how is... Not just, it might be the Clone Wars, it could be any aspect of Star Wars, it could be any aspect of any show. I'd very much like to hear your experiences, and if we can learn from them, great, that's what we want, So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching this sort of very improvised and probably, disorganized video, but I appreciate it, and I'll have more content up later in the week. We've got another video of the Republic at War gameplay ready to go, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.